Neeraj sir, we are live. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Harish. Thank you so much. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, our friends from across the nation. Myself, Neeraj Aroda. I look after the SOCHM's GEM Green Building Certification Program. So, on behalf of SOCHM GEM Green Building Council, I would like to welcome you all to this another wonderful session on green rating systems and smart cities. So, friends, as you all know, that SOCHM GEM Green Building Council is organizing a 3 days virtual and 2 days physical GEM International Sustainability Conclave Expo and Awards. So this is our third day of the virtual sessions, and today is our fifth virtual session. This session is being jointly organized by SOCHM GEM Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh chapters, and we have galaxy of speakers with us for the discussion. Starting with Shri Ranjan Kumar ji, IAS Divisional Commissioner, Lucknow, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Welcome, sir.
Thank
We
you.
have with us Shri Prabhat Malik ji, IAS Commissioner and General Manager, Smart City, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Welcome, sir. We have with us Mr. Ramesh Agrawal ji, Co-founder, Real Ispat and Power Limited, Chhattisgarh. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Architect Anurag Vajpayee, Co-Chairman, SOCHM GEM Uttar Pradesh and Director, Green Tree Global. Welcome, Anurag ji. We have Mr. Pankaj Dharkar ji with us, Chairman, SOCHM GEM Green Building Council and President, Pankaj Dharkar and Associates. Welcome, Pankaj ji. Architect Anupam Mittal ji, Chairman, SOCHM GEM Uttar Pradesh Chapter and Principal Architect, Arinam Consultancy Services Private Limited. Welcome, Anupam ji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Architect Naveen Sharma ji, Chairman, SOCHM GEM Chhattisgarh Chapter and Principal Architect Naveen Sharma and Associates. Welcome, Naveen ji.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
Mr. Nishant Bafna ji, Executive Member, SOCHM GEM Chhattisgarh Chapter and Partner, Tarasans Enterprises Chhattisgarh. Welcome, Nishant ji. And Architect Raj Prajapati ji, Co-Chairman, SOCHM GEM Chhattisgarh Chapter and Principal Architect Space. So, welcome you all. And friends, just to share with you, we have received the support from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India, Council of Architecture, NAREDCO, and National Book Trust, Government of India for this 3 days virtual and 2 days physical conclave expo and awards. So welcome you all. And now I will invite Shri Pankaj Dharkar ji, Chairman SOCHM GEM Green Building Council and President Pankaj Dharkar and Associates for his address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you for setting the tone for this morning. And can I get a screen share, sir? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You can see the screen, sir. So thank you, Neeraj, once again. And I welcome Shri Ranjan Kumar ji, Shri Prabhat Malik ji, Ramesh ji, for this wonderful session which our GEM UP chapter and Chhattisgarh chapter have put together. Today's theme, green rating system and smart cities, is a fantastic theme. So thank you, leadership of UP and Chhattisgarh, for thinking about this session and also making sure that we have stalwarts like Ranjanji, Prabhatji, and Rameshji from respective states to share their views and give us insights what is happening in respective states. So it will be a great learning session for all of us, sir. I'm also looking forward for interactive session, and thanks to Anurag, Nishant, Raj, and all my team members. Naveen ji, special thanks to you, and Anupam ji, special thanks to you. Friends, for the benefit of Ranjan ji, Prabhat ji, and Ramesh ji, I would like to quickly go through what we are doing. This particular my slides are not moving. There's some technical problem.
Sir, click on the screen, sir.
I click that.
Achha.
Yeah. Sorry. So, sir, GEM program is initiated by ASSOCHAM, and ASSOCHAM, as we know, is made out of 400 chambers with 4.5 lakhs members and serving the nation since 1920. This initiative has taken by ASSOCHAM board to create this sustainability certification program, and we call it CGEM. Our program is compliant with the BEE ECBC 2017 and National Building Code of 2016. It takes care of sustainability, daylight, energy, water, indoor air quality, fresh air, more green areas, human comfort, and very important, sir, is it also takes care of fire and life safety. To us, the building, while they have to be energy efficient, they should consume less water, they should have better indoor air quality, but other very important aspect which often neglected by all other certifications is fire and life safety. We do believe the building where we live should be fire safe and should be safe from all aspects of security. So this is a unique feature which our certification program has. Incidentally, this COP26 was attended by eminent people from our ASSOCHAM team. Mr. Neeraj, who is sharing dais today, was a party to this, and we found that our program is in complete alignment with SDG 2030, and we do believe that this is the first comprehensive rating system in the world to recognize sustainability rather than incorporating few components of it. In the 17 comes out of United Nations SDG 30. Most of it which relates to built environment are taken care by our program. And also further, in terms of alignment with COP26, when we note that our program also addresses many important issues like encouraging healthy living, ensuring safe and secure atmosphere, encourage more sustainable behavior, and leave a positive legacy. So this is something fantastic news. We did design this before SDG 30s came out, and coincidentally, this is something which is going to be a long way, because we have, as a country, a lot of commitments on climate change, which we have committed, and I'm sure ASSOCHAM GEM will complement this vision of our national leaders. Friends, we do believe that a GEM certification is a very, very reasonable certification, most affordable amongst available in the country. This is the first indigenous program which complements ECBC 2017 and National Building Code 2016, which we believe are the fantastic documents which Indian architects and engineers have provided to the globe. Also, all the buildings certified will, if they are designed by architect and engineers together, will not have extra cost, even if some extra cost will be paid back within 3 to 4 years. Friends, sustainability services which gets encompassed with our GEM certification ensures good water audits, waste audit, energy audits. It is a way paving way towards net zero and carbon neutrality. Sustainability reports and training on sustainability is ensuring that our future generations will be created because of our programs and training program mission. Friends, we have now 10 chapters across the country. You can see the green areas. UP and Chhattisgarh happens to be our dynamic chapters. We will be soon going to areas which are blue and pink. We are sure that soon we will have more than 20 chapters. Sir, we are currently listed on CRISIL. You can see here that with other green building certification program, GEM is also recognized by CRISIL. And the good news comes from Rajasthan, where our GEM certified projects also get equivalent advantage as IGBC and Graha gets. So all our certified projects at GEM 3 level in Rajasthan are getting 5% FAR advantage, GEM 4 getting 10% advantage, and GEM 5 is getting 15% advantage on FAR. So this is a welcome news for the ASSOCHAM GEM, and I'm sure in coming time with your support, sir, we will be able to get some recognition from UP government and Chhattisgarh government. Our rating system starts from JAM 1, which is the lowest between 40 to 49 point on the yardstick of 135, and 105 above it is JAM 5. We have to our credit very interesting projects in the country in all the segments, like you can see here the electrical and electronics giant like Siemens, insurance company like Tata AIG, pharmaceutical company like Abbott, luxury brand hotels of ITC and Hilton, several universities and IT companies you can see. Beautiful projects have been accredited with GEM certification. Of course, recently Prime Minister 10 days back also inaugurated the state-of-art Bhopal redevelopment. Bhopal has Rani Kamlapati new station, which was formerly earlier known as Habibganj station. And you can see here, sir, that on very prominent location, our GEM certification has been displayed, and Prime Minister has and the Railway Minister himself have appreciated the efforts done by GEM, and it has really attracted very good media advertisement. The second station which saw the railway development was Gandhinagar station, where a 5-star deluxe hotel of Leela has been built. Incidentally, this is also GEM certified, GEM 5 certified. This was also dedicated to nation by Prime Minister just 1.5-2 months back. So this again attracted huge media attention. In UP, we are blessed with the leadership of Anupamji, and we have a lot of affordable housing projects which have been done, which were under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Thanks Anupamji and thanks UP government for entrusting GEM. We have very interesting project of Ratarpur Land Terminal project, which is GEM certified. Several metro stations. We are looking forward for such stations coming up in UP like Lucknow and Kanpur to be GEM certified in future, and also Chhattisgarh whenever they start getting metro, we look forward for that. Sir, we are working with several organizations like Indian Institute of Architects, ISIRE, Indian Society of Heating Refrigerating Engineers, Fire and Security Association, lighting societies, and the people who are supposed to maintain the facility, because the buildings are created and they have to be maintained so that they perform properly. So we have also ensured that the GACS, which is Association for Maintaining the Projects, is also taken care. Solar Society and India Smart Habitat Center. We have an excellent program on GEM certification. Our team members are teaching every 4th Saturday free of cost on digital platform. Once you understand our certification, the young engineers, architects, and students can give these exams. And once exam is cleared, you can give an online exam, which is of 90 minutes, and it can be given 24/7. You become GEM professional. Sir, we have taken a Mission 100 where we have gone to several universities. We do believe that our next generation of architects and engineers should be well trained in sustainability. The sustainability should be in their blood. And with that mission, our team members, our dynamic leaders of each state are going all out to reach the universities. And I'm glad to tell you that in spite of COVID, we are able to now sign off 85 MOUs across the country. You can see here, sir, Uttar Pradesh is doing very well, and we have a lot of potential there, and also Chhattisgarh will soon have universities, I'm confident. So during this pandemic, our team has done fantastic work with 125 plus webinars, 125,000 plus registrations. We reached out with 14 MOUs and universities. So this is a fantastic work. So this 3 days digital platform and 2 days physical meetings will attract more than 90 speakers. And it is going to be a fantastic time. We were all deliberating whether we should have physical meeting, but we took that risk, and with all pandemic precautions, we are going to meet tomorrow and day after in Delhi. This is fantastic news for all of us. So friends, let's come together and take a pledge to create a green and environmental sustainable country and complement our nation's mission. So once again, sir, Ranjanji, Prabhatji and Rameshji, thank you so much for coming out of your busy schedule in morning, in office hours. It is fantastic news for us and inspiring news for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dharkarji. Thank you so much for the very energetic and encouraging presentation, sir. Thank you so much once again. Now, I would request Architect Anupam Mittalji for the welcome address. Anupam Mittalji is the chairman for ASSOCHAM GEM Uttar Pradesh chapter and principal architect Arinam Consultancy Services Private Limited. So, over to you, Anupam ji.
Thank you, Neeraj, and thank you, Pankaj Dharkar, sir. Namaste, Adab, Sat Sri Akal, and a very good morning to all present in this GEM International Sustainability Conclave and Expo during this week, starting from 30th November, and we are in the day 3, session 1. This talk on green rating system and the smart cities has been co-hosted by ASSOCHAM GEM UP chapter and Chhattisgarh chapter together. Myself, Anupam Mittal, welcome you all in the mega event and happy to share that together we have a very strong and heavyweight panel of speakers who are directly responsible for the implementation of strategies proposed or designed for the mega cities under Smart City mission. To start with, on behalf of the entire ASSOCHAM team, I welcome Shri Ranjan Kumar IAS, Sir, Divisional Commissioner, Lucknow, Government of Uttar Pradesh, and heading this mission of Lucknow Smart City. An IITian, a visionary, and a strong taskmaster who is leading the mission for the best of its results in the coming years. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our request, and we are honored to have you here with us. I welcome Shri Prabhat Malik, IS, sir, Commissioner and General Manager, another IITian. It seems to be from the same IIT Kanpur as Ranjan, sir. The Smart City, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, he is the General Manager, whose leadership is well acknowledged, and city of Raipur is taking a futuristic shape under his able guidance. Thank you, sir, for being a part of this session. We welcome Shri Ramesh Agarwal, co-founder, Real Ispat and Power Limited, who has immense knowledge and interest in sustainability. The industry, like his, must be inspired by his approach towards green building concept. Thank you, Ramesh ji, and welcome. The moment we think about green rating, the first name come to us in our mind of Shri Pankaj Dharkar, sir, the stalwart of this industry who is born with a mission, and that's the reason for all of us being here on this occasion. Welcome, sir. Your guidance keeps us motivated. Welcome, Anurag Vajpayee, co-chairman, ASSOCHAM GEM UP chapter, and well-known green building consultant. Architect Raj Prajapati, co-chairman, ASSOCHAM GEM Chhattisgarh chapter, and a well-known practitioner. Mr. Nishant Bafna, Executive Member, ASSOCHAM GEM Chhattisgarh Chapter. Mr. Shubhatar Raj, Joint Director, ASSOCHAM GEM. Mr. Neeraj Arora, this Director, ASSOCHAM GEM, Green Building Certification Program. Welcome all dignitaries present here, media, and everybody who's been joining here, students. They're there definitely. And now, allow me to welcome the moderator of this session, Mr. Naveen Sharma, Chairman, ASSOCHAM GEM Chhattisgarh Chapter, whose extraordinary efforts has set this stage for all of us, and we will be able to listen to the leaders of the smart city and accept experts of the industry. Welcome, Mr. Naveen ji, and I am honored to invite you to take up the session here onwards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anupam ji. Thank you, Neeraj ji. Thank you, Anupam ji. Good morning, everyone. Respected Pankaj Dharkar, sir. Our National Chairman, ASSOCHAM GEM, Architect Anupam Mittal ji, Chairman UP Chapter. Today is a speaker, Mr. Ranjan Kumar ji, IAS, Mr. Prabhat Malik ji, IAS, and Mr. Moradha Jaga ji. Our co-chairmen, ASSOCHAM GEM, Architect Raj Prajapati ji from Chhattisgarh Chapter and Architect Anurag Vajpayee ji from UP Chapter. Nishant ji and Shubharat ji, Neeraj ji, Joint Director from ASSOCHAM GEM, and everyone attending this virtual sessions. Friends, our today's topic for this session is green building system and smart cities. As far as green building rating system is concerned, it's a reference tool that assesses a building performance and its impact on the environment. It is a rating tool that evaluates the performance of a building at par with certain nationally acceptable benchmarks. Rating tools vary in their approaches and can be applied to the planning and design, construction, operation and maintenance, renovation, and eventually demolition phases of a green building. Rating tools can also differ in type of building, such as single dwelling houses, commercial buildings, or even whole neighborhood. And about the smart cities, they are technologically modern urban areas that uses different types of electronic methods, voice activations methods, and sensors to collect specific data to drive economic growth and improve the quality of life of people, of enabling local area development and harnessing technology that leads to smart development. By involving parameters of green building rating system in smart cities, how can we develop our cities clean, green and livable? Today's session is going to be very engaging as we have two bureaucrats, managing directors of two different smart cities limited with us to enlighten us with how that has been achieved in their respective cities. So let us please welcome Mr. Ranjan Kumarji to take us further in this topic. Mr. Ranjan Kumar is an IS officer of 2000 batch from Uttar Pradesh cadre, presently serving as Divisional Commissioner Lucknow and Chairman Lucknow Smart City. In a career spanning over 21 years, senior IS officer Mr. Kumar has served in different capacities and handled several important assignments prior to his current postings. He was secretary in the Public Works Department. He has also served as Secretary Revenue Department, Rural Department, Project Director, Community Project Rural Development, Divisional Commissioner, Mirzapur, Special Secretary, Irrigation, Flood Control, Medical Education, Food and Civil Supplies Department, and Chief Development Officer, Gorakhpur. He was also the district magistrate and collector of 9 districts of UP: Gorakhpur, Amroha, Shamli, Pratapgarh, Bagpat, Banda, Balia, Auraiya, and Chitrakoot. Mr. Ranjan Kumar is a BTech in Electrical Engineering, hails from Nalanda, Bihar. Over to you, Ranjan sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I will congratulate the SGM members to start this kind of ratings, and this will definitely go a long way in building an environment in our country for the building sustainability and their performance. The current scenario which we see in our city, that is not very encouraging, and this is very good initiative. I will outline the things going on in Lucknow city in the under smart city mission. We are trying to get the current infrastructure transformed into a sustainable one, and we are bringing that many technology on top of the current infrastructure, also to fill the gap of social infrastructure, the pressure on social infrastructure and physical infrastructure. We are bringing infrastructure also. But overall, this concept basically has no example in different projects like water efficient, energy efficient, and the buildings, and to take care of carbon and waste inside the building. So in general, for the environment friendly, we are trying to get to transform our city into clean and green and efficient. Also, we are trying to bring support system so as to work upon our strength of heritage, hygiene, and this handicraft and other strength. We are trying to develop some support system to encourage and facilitate employment also. Also, energy efficient lighting, we have changed more than 2 lakhs lights to make it more efficient. In that sense, it is energy efficient we are bringing into the system. We have developed many parks, the green parks, and we are trying to integrate all the services under the municipal corporation under this integrated command and control center to bring efficiency. We are also bringing a smart beans, and this we are tracking the vehicle to reduce the wastage in fuel and other things. So these are the things we are definitely going in a long way. Also, we have initiated many innovative and interesting projects like just now we have provided we have just issued the work order for the consultant to develop DPR, where we will develop hydra points in different part of the city, so as to use the wastewater for cleaning buses, railways compartment or railway stations and other things, so as to reduce the pressure on the groundwater. Also, we are planning to bring comprehensive rainwater harvesting with the concept that any drop of rainwater should not be wasted and it should go into the groundwater in a organized way. We are developing DPR for that also. We are also planning to bring as much coverage of solar panel as much we can do. Like recently we are not under a smart city, we are working upon green corridor projects where it is a green corridor is a name without that connotation like where that GM green building ratings, but definitely we are trying to use the local resources for building the bandha, like after dredging this river. So also we are planning to put solar panel on the bandha more than 20 kilometers long. So in that way, we are trying to get as efficiency as can there. So, but I feel that we still have a lot of challenge. Like whatever we are promoting these kind of ratings, we ignore the current status of buildings and all. We don't have any idea how to change the status of the current buildings into green, how to replace the water channels, this network of pipes or network of these wires, and to make it energy efficient, water efficient, and other thing. So if we have to be successful in this field, we have to think about the mass level, how to bring sustainability of performance of the building. I have visited a few buildings in other country also, where there is a concept of developing everything at the work site in situ. So I was just going through your criteria and those factors which give the certification. You talk about the audit, but how to bring that is missing, like in situ, how to develop building in situ, everything. So you have to bring technology, partnership, collaborations. We were talking about, just heard about doing MOU with different universities. So the current status of the university where curricula are fixed, you have to think about not only collaboration, but also how to bring new kind of syllabus and other curricula. In new education policy, you have a lot of scope. You can bring a new credit system where you define some core course and in the periphery you can add other credit also. So we need to think more comprehensive. Definitely, we have been successful in under a smart city mission. We have made transportation efficient. We have been successful in capturing air quality index and other thing also. But we need to, I think, we need more, and we have to work a lot in this way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was an enlightening to know how on ground various measures are implemented. You talk about the current scenario of the city and the infrastructure, and you are trying to utilize the parameter of sustainability, and you are also talking about the changes to more than 2 lakhs light. So we hope the city will be more livable in future with the help of applying this parameter of sustainability. Thank you so much, sir. Now today we have invited our second speaker, Mr. Ranjan Kumar, IAS. He is a commissioner of Raipur and MD Raipur Smart City. Due to Chief Secretary visit in Smart City, Malik sir will join us later on, and he has authorized Mr. Muradhwaj Jaga, Senior General Manager Project Planning, Tata Consultancy Engineering Limited, to present the works of Smart City on behalf of him. So now I invite him for presentation of the Raipur Smart City works. Over to you, Jagaji.
Thank you, Navinji. Hello and good morning to everyone present here. I am Moradhwaj Jaga from the PGMC side from Tata Consulting Engineers Limited. Since our MD has not joined today, and maybe as Navin sir said, he will join later on. On behalf of Mr. Prabhat Malik, I welcome all present in the meeting. Mr. Ranjan Kumar sir, IAS and Divisional Commissioner, Lucknow Smart City, Mr. Ramesh Agrawal, co-founder Real Ispat and Power Limited, Mr. Pankaj Dharkarji, architect Anupam Mittalji, Naveenji, and Anurag Bajpeji, Mr. Raj Prajapatiji, and Subrata Rathji. So,
Sorry, Jaga Sahab, your voice is very low. I don't know if it is my problem. Amit ji, can you just help them?
okay. Now, can you listen?
Absolutely good, sir. Thank you.
Better,
Yes.
sir.
Maybe this
So
mic
much,
was
sir.
too far from my.
Yeah. Please keep the mic closer to you, sir. Now
Yes,
better, sir.
Now keeping my. Can you? Okay. So, can you go to next slide, Navinji? So basically, Raipur Smart City is selected in 2016 by the government of India, who has announced 13 cities in fast track mode. And this assignment implementation has started in February 2017. Basically, the area more Raipur city center area is selected. The area in the area is about 777 acre. For that, we have to do retrofitting and redevelopment works. And three major water bodies fall in this ABD area. Many sports facilities and heritage and residential areas found in this area-based development. The focus of this smart city was on the 10 major points, 10 major clusters, and the focus areas are creation of infrastructure services, inclusion of smart component like walkability, compact urban forms, NMT usage, safety, integrated planning with transit-oriented development concepts, integrated living with intervention in health, education, knowledge, heritage, and sports. Shoppings, parkings, integrated transactions, integrated networks, and heritage buildings. These were the major focus areas of the smart city concept. Next slide, please. The entire concept is divided into 10 project clusters, like integrated strengthening the infrastructure development within the ABD area, improvement and augmentation of water supplies, and improvement of the water bodies and conservation of the water bodies. In the third cluster, the upliftment of the housing infrastructure for the Raipur, and similarly the upliftment of the livelihood of the peoples, health sector, and green buildings, markets, transportation, and integration, and like multimodal type things have been decided to go ahead in the Raipur Smart City. So basically, Raipur Smart City have taken many steps towards making the building sustainable and the projects as self-sustainable and user-friendly. As we know that a green building or a project is a building or a project that in its design, construction, or operation reduce or eliminates negative impact and can create positive impact on our climate and natural environment. Naveen, the next slide, please. So green building or projects preserves precious natural resources, improves our quality of life of the natives. So in that line, we are doing many projects. We did many projects which are creating a positive impact on the climate and the improving the lives of the Raipurians. Some of the projects I'll highlight here and explain what we did till now in Raipur. Like we have taken up the rainwater harvesting projects. About 34 government buildings have been identified for that, and we are using this rainwater harvesting and preserving this rainwater, and to which will have an impact and improve this water level in the earth. CCTV surveillance has been installed in Raipur, and this is the one point of contact where entire Raipur can be traced what is going on in the Raipur. We are preserving many heritage buildings, and out of many buildings, one I have visited here is Anand Samaj Library. Can we see next slide, Naveen? So basically, this Anand Samaj Library is the one of the oldest library in Raipur, not only in the Raipur but in the state, oldest library in the state, which was built by late Sri G.R. Deshpande ji and Sri Behram Pesanji in 1908. The building also remarks India's freedom movement. In 1920, father of the nation, Sri Mahatma Gandhi ji, addressed a huge gathering from the ground of this library. So this ancient heritage has the collection of many ancient books. See, you can see this before and after pictures. It was of no use earlier, but since this inception of Raipur Smart City, we have started preserving such conservation of such heritage buildings. We did many, but this is one of them. The now hundreds of people are using this library and they are getting it benefited. Next slide. Other than from these heritage buildings, we are doing the regeneration of ponds. About 28 such small projects we are doing, but a few of them I have cited here is rejuvenation and beautification of Kari Talab. In the next slide, I will show you the pictures how it was earlier and how we developed it now. It was muddy and useless pond, was of no use, and people was dumping their garbage on that place. Now it is rejuvenated, and you can see in below pictures now hundreds of people are using it for morning walks, yogas, and it is a better place now for playing for children. Uh, these are the pictures earlier before. You can see how the place was, and now after it is developed and open for peoples for you for the use. Now it is a better place, and hundreds of peoples are coming over there. The after this we are doing this 24/7 water supply project in a Raipur, which will have a major impact on this livelihood of the people of the Raipur, and water will be available 24/7 for the people living in ABD area of this Raipur smart city. Project worth is about 100 crore, and which is in advanced stage of bid evaluation, and we are expecting that in the in coming 2-3 months this project may start the implementation. It covers the entire ABD area of Raipur city. Even at a few sites, it goes beyond the ABD boundary and capture the maximum users. About 24,000 households shall be beneficiary of this project, and water will be available 24/7 for the use. The main component of this project is water meter, which shall enable people to use facility 24/7, and they have to pay only as per the quantity they are going to use. Entire system will be controlled through the SCADA systems, which will be installed in a nearby area, just multi-level car parking in Jaistam Chowk. And this project will save the most important natural save, that is water from the waste. Next slide. So basically, the key element of this project was completing the complete the metering with smart water meters and billing systems. The meters will be just like a electricity meters, providing new house services, connections, and replacement of existing distribution pipelines, integrating the water supply with the AMR and bulk water meter systems through SCADA. As this distribution pipeline covers existing AC, PVC, CI, GI pipelines to be replaced with the DI pipelines, and two major ESRs, Moti Bagh and Ganj ESRs will be augmented, and the pipelines about 105 kilometers from Moti Bagh ESR and 50 kilometers from Ganj ESR will be placed. GSM and GPRS based water meter for house connections. The 15 mm pipeline will be provided to 20,496 households and 3,240 numbers for 25 mm pipelines. So these are already explained. The operation and maintenance will be for 5 years in the scope of the agency who is going to execute this project. The proposed scheme of implementation of water supply will have a historic approach toward the sustainable and the user-friendly system. This will primarily focus on overall drinking water demand assessment, identification of gaps in existing systems, proposed strengthening of the system as a part of commitments toward the efficiently using the natural resources. The scheme will include measures to identify unaccounted foreflow, non-revenue water, and its reduction. Volumetric quantification of supplies by installation of bulk and domestic flow meters, asset management, consumer grievance redressal system, and smart building system. See, before this implementation, this is the scenario. Actually, about the people of this ABD area is getting the water for 2 to 3 hours, 2 times a day. But after this implementation of this project, after this completion of this project, people will be benefited and will get water 24 hours. Coverage area, currently it is about 80% in the selected area. After this implementation, this 100% area will be covered. Legal housing connections is about 40% only in the selected ABD area, whereas after the implementation of this project, we are expecting the 100% legal connections will be in place. Non-revenue water is about 45% in a current selected area, whereas we are expecting that after this implementation it will reduce to 15 to 20%. In terms of revenue collection also, currently it is less than 30% only, but after this implementation we are expecting it will go beyond 90%. And currently there is no billing system in the pipeline systems. It is now after this implementation, the 100% billing system will be applied. Going to next project, we have developed like a canal linking road. It is a part of a smart road in the Indravati colony area. Earlier, this was there is a canal which was of no use, and now it is converted into the smart road, and thousands of transports are being using this road. Next, please. The main element of this smart road we are planning in Raipur is the underground utilities which are open now. We are planning to make it underground, and the side of the roads we are planning to have a vending kiosk, benches, dustbins, cycle stands, e-rickshaw parkings, two-wheeler and four-wheeler parkings, footpaths, and this signage boards and all. These are we are planning to have a side of these as a part of a smart component. So Naveen ji, that's it from my side. I've done it.
Thank you, Moradji Dwajji, for this presentations. We can see is Ranjan sir is mentioning that about the current scenario of the city. I think both the city are in the same situations, but कोशिशें जारी है और काम हम स्मार्ट सिटी के अंदर ले रहे हैं और उम्मीद करते हैं कि we will just develop our city clean, green and livable. Thank you for this presentation, Moradji. Now that we saw how two smart city works differently to achieve the same common goal. Let us dwell further in the topic by inviting an industrialist and a green building expert in the panel with us. So let us first welcome Mr. Ramesh Agrawal to discuss further on today's topic. Mr. Ramesh Agrawal is a co-founder and the director of the company, being the youngest of the three brothers who has been a part of the steel industry since 1991. Mr. Ramesh Agrawal has been ex-chairman of the Confederation of Indian Industry, Chhattisgarh, and past president of the Entrepreneur Organization, Chhattisgarh Region, executive member of Chhattisgarh Steel Rerollers Association, former president and assistant governor of the Rotary Club of Raipur Cosmopolitan, and a member of Rotary International. Mr. Ramesh Agrawal studied civil engineering and overall control, plant management, and group marketing and sales of Real Ispat and Power Limited, Raipur. Over to you, Ramesh ji.
Thank you, Naveen ji. Thank you for inviting me. एसोचैम का ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी कॉन्क्लेव आप लोग का है और बहुत ही इसमें पूरे इंडिया से आप लोग ने स्पीकर्स बुलाए हैं डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स में। आज की डेट पे यदि हम बात करते हैं सस्टेनेबिलिटी की, तो लगता है कि शायद दिस इज़ द नीड ऑफ द आवर। इससे ज़्यादा शायद और किसी चीज़ की हमें सबसे ज़्यादा नीड नहीं है, जिसमें पूरा नॉट ओनली यूपी और छत्तीसगढ़ बल्कि पूरा इंडिया और पूरा वर्ल्ड सिर्फ इसी की बात कर रहा है कि व्हाट इज सस्टेनेबिलिटी। चाहे वो इंडस्ट्री में हो, स्मार्ट सिटी के रूप में हो, या ट्रीज लगाने की बात हो, या किसी भी चीज़ में, विदाउट सस्टेनेबिलिटी हम आगे बढ़ नहीं सकते। सो थैंक्स फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी। आई विल स्टार्ट विथ माई फेवरेट कोट, विजन विदाउट एक्शन जस्ट मेयरली अ ड्रीम, एक्शन विदाउट विजन just passes the time, but vision with action can change the world. एसोचैम में मैंने जो स्टडी किया है और जितना पता है कि यहाँ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और बिजनेस मैन ही हैं मोस्टली, तो जहाँ तक विज़न और एक्शन की बात है कि हम जब तक के कोई भी एक्शन विज़न के साथ करते हैं और विज़न के साथ हमको एक्शन मिलता है, तो हम कुछ भी चीज़ को बेहतर से बेहतर कर सकते हैं। वी कैन चेंज द वर्ल्ड। एज ए इंडस्ट्री पैनलिस्ट मुझे बुलाया गया है छत्तीसगढ़ का, तो छत्तीसगढ़ के इंडस्ट्रियल एटमॉस्फेयर के बारे में मैं थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ करना चाहूँगा यहाँ पे कि छत्तीसगढ़ इज़ नोन फॉर मिनरल रिच स्टेट एक्चुअली, जहाँ पे आयरन ओर, कोल, एल्यूमिनियम, बॉक्साइड, लाइमस्टोन और ये बहुत ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में है, और 42% ऑफ एरिया छत्तीसगढ़ का फॉरेस्ट है। सो यदि हम इंडस्ट्री की बात करें तो बहुत ज़्यादा पोटेंशियल छत्तीसगढ़ में एज ए इंडस्ट्री के बारे में है। अपकमिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की यदि बात करते हैं, यदि मैं छत्तीसगढ़ की जो इंडस्ट्री है उसमें जो मिनरल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज़ हैं उसका यदि इंडिया के परसेप्शन में कंट्रीब्यूशन में बताऊं, तो एल्यूमिनियम जो छत्तीसगढ़ में प्रोड्यूस होता है अराउंड 30%, स्टील जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होता है पूरे इंडिया का उसका 25% ऑफ स्टील छत्तीसगढ़ में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होता है। टिन का कंट्रीब्यूशन 100% टन जो है छत्तीसगढ़ में है। कोल भी जो इतना बड़ा मतलब एक मैटर है, 18% ऑफ कोल इट इज़ फ्रॉम छत्तीसगढ़ टू कंट्रीब्यूट टू इंडिया। आयरन ओर भी है, 19% ऑफ आयरन ओर छत्तीसगढ़ में ही माइनिंग होती है इंडिया में। सीमेंट का भी यहाँ पे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग 15% है। ये जो मेजर कोर सेक्टर की जो इंडस्ट्रीज़ हैं उसके जो है कि छत्तीसगढ़ का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है माइनिंग में वो इतना ज़्यादा है, उसके कारण यहाँ पे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब भी जो है वो बना हुआ है। अपकमिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात करूँ यदि मैं छत्तीसगढ़ के, तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नया रायपुर में एक क्लस्टर बनाया गया है जिसमें नॉन पॉल्यूटेड इंडस्ट्रीज़ को इनवाइट किया गया है, और आगे आने वाले समय में इसमें नॉन पॉल्यूटेड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक पूरा क्लस्टर है नया रायपुर में। मेगा फूड पार्क एक धमतरी में है, प्लास्टिक पार्क राजनांदगांव में, टेक्सटाइल पार्क तिल्दा में, छत्तीसगढ़ ट्रेड सेंटर नया रायपुर में और एमएसएमई टेक्नोलॉजी सेंटर भिलाई में। ये सब मेजर जो एक क्लस्टर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़ ने जो क्रिएट किया है, जो बनाया है, जो इनवाइट करते हैं इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट को, उसके बारे में बता रहा हूं मैं। छत्तीसगढ़ के इंडस्ट्री के परसेप्शन में यदि हम एडवांटेज की बात करें कि व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़, तो सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज है कि छत्तीसगढ़ चूंकि जियोग्राफिकली इट इज लोकेटेड इन द सेंटर ऑफ द कंट्री, सो ये एक बहुत बड़ा 7 स्टेट से कवर्ड है, तो बहुत बड़ा एक कैचमेंट एरिया कवर करता है कि कोई भी आप चीज मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं तो वो उसका कैचमेंट एरिया बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा है कि आप नियर बाय स्टेट्स में उसको भेज सकते हैं। एक नेगेटिव पॉइंट्स भी ये है कि यदि आपका एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड यूनिट है या इंपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड यूनिट है तो वो थोड़ा सा डिसएडवांटेज है लोकेशनल, क्योंकि पोर्ट से दूर है, तो जो एक फ्रेट का प्लस मतलब जाना और आना दोनों थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा होता है। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाइज देखें तो इट्स ए पावर सरप्लस स्टेट, जहाँ पावर कभी हमने देखा ही नहीं है कि पावर जाता भी है या पावर नहीं भी रहता है, ये सिचुएशन नहीं आती। इट्स ए पावर सरप्लस स्टेट। नया रायपुर इट्स ए वर्ल्ड क्लास फर्स्ट ग्रीनफील्ड स्मार्ट सिटी इन इंडिया, जो कि बहुत ही वर्ल्ड क्लास अम्यूनिटीज हैं, जहाँ के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स हैं और पूरा का पूरा जो डेवलपमेंट है नया रायपुर का, वो पूरा एक सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट है, ग्रीन सिटी के रूप में पूरा का पूरा है और बहुत ही सुंदर एज ए सिटी घूमने के लिए, विजिट करने के लिए और डेवलप होने के लिए भी बहुत ही अच्छा है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाइज। बहुत ही अच्छी कनेक्टिविटी है बाय एयर। रायपुर एयरपोर्ट को सेकंड ग्रेट सिटीज में नंबर 1 एयरपोर्ट का पिछले 5 साल से लगातार अवार्ड मिलता आ रहा है। बहुत ही सुंदर एयरपोर्ट है। गवर्नमेंट की बात करें तो प्रोग्रेसिव एंड रोबस्ट पॉलिसी है एज ए इंडस्ट्री पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से यदि हम देखें तो, क्योंकि स्टेट हैज रिलीज द इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी इन 2019-24 which has some significant incentives for the priority sector industry, जिसके बारे में मैं बताता हूँ आगे। यहाँ पे टैलेंट की बात करें तो रायपुर में NIT है, IIT है, IIM है, IIIT है और नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी है एंड इंदिरा गांधी एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी है। इतनी सारे वर्ल्ड क्लास इंस्टीट्यूट यूनिवर्सिटीज एक शहर में, शायद इंडिया के शायद ही एक आध सिटी है जहाँ पे ये सारी चीज़ें इन वन सिटी अवेलेबल है। तो टैलेंट यहाँ पे है। ईज एंड लो कॉस्ट ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट चूंकि बहुत भी रोबस्ट पॉलिसी के साथ बहुत एग्रेसिव है कि इंडस्ट्री आनी चाहिए, तो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस पे उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा वर्क किया हुआ है। और यहाँ पे कॉस्ट वाइज देखा जाए तो सभी चीज़ों का ओवरऑल लैंड कॉस्ट से लेके बाकी सब चीज़ों की कॉस्ट देखा जाए तो कम कॉस्ट है। सबसे बड़ी बात यदि मैं बोलूँगा कि इंडस्ट्री छत्तीसगढ़ में क्यों लगानी चाहिए, तो इसका सबसे बड़ा यदि वो है तो यहाँ के सरल और सीधे और अच्छे लोग एंड वेरी गुड एटमॉस्फेयर, इंडस्ट्रियल एटमॉस्फेयर, जहाँ कोई स्ट्राइक नहीं होता, कोई हड़ताल नहीं होती या कभी कोई बंद नहीं होता। तो इट्स ए फॉर इंडस्ट्री पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट्स ए वेरी गुड प्लस पॉइंट। इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी के बारे में मैं 2 मिनट में बताऊंगा कि 1924 में इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी गवर्नमेंट ने लाई है, पर्टिकुलर फॉर आयरन स्टील, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आयरन ओर है, कोल है, सभी चीज़ है, तो आयरन स्टील की इसके लिए तो स्टेट को इन्होंने 4 कैटेगरी में किया है, A, B, C, D। और 1 नवंबर 2019 से यदि प्रोडक्शन 2024 31 अक्टूबर 24 तक आता है तो काफ़ी इन्होंने कैपिटल कॉस्ट में इन्होंने सब्सिडी दिया है। जैसे ए कैटेगरी में 60% की सब्सिडी है, बी कैटेगरी में 80%, सी कैटेगरी में 100% एंड डी कैटेगरी जिसमें बस्तर एंड सरगुजा थोड़ा बैकवर्ड एरिया है, इसमें 150%। जो भी कैपिटल कॉस्ट मिनिमम 100 करोड़ की इंडस्ट्री होनी चाहिए, 100 करोड़ से ज़्यादा की इंडस्ट्री है, जो कैपिटल कॉस्ट अब लगा रहे हैं उसका 150% से लेके 60% तक डिफरेंट विद इन कैटेगरीज में ये कैपिटल सब्सिडी है। तो ये इतना बड़ा ये एक अट्रैक्शन था कि उसके कारण करीब 50,000 करोड़ के MOUs पिछले 1 साल के अंदर छत्तीसगढ़ गवर्नमेंट के साथ हुए। एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट इज कि सारे MOUs छत्तीसगढ़ के जो इन हाउस समझ जाइए जिनका होम है यहाँ पे, जहाँ पे इंडस्ट्री जिनकी है, उन्होंने ये सब MOU किए हैं। कि तो ऐसा लगता नहीं कि ये सब पेपरों में रहेगा, ये आगे आने वाले समय में ये इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में लगता है। फ्यूचर प्रोस्पेक्ट की बात करें तो फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री, चूंकि मैंने बताया कि 42% ऑफ एरिया कवर्ड है फॉरेस्ट का यहाँ पे, तो फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ है, जो कि एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, चाहे बस्तर में है, सरगुजा में है, और भी एग्रीकल्चर बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज भी और फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा पॉसिबिलिटी है। बायोइथेनॉल, जैसे नितिन गडकरी जी का आप सुनते होंगे कि लगातार यहाँ पे अब पेट्रोल एंड डीजल को धीरे धीरे कम करके बायोइथेनॉल का यूज धीरे धीरे गवर्नमेंट बढ़ाती जा रही है। 5%, 10%, 20% होता जा रहा है अब उसमें मिक्स करने का। तो बायोइथेनॉल के लिए भी यहाँ पे राइस जो लगता है, छत्तीसगढ़ इसे राइस बॉल ऑफ इंडिया बोलते थे इसको, और अब वो राइस से स्टील में आ गया है, बट फिर भी यहाँ पे हजारों राइस मिले हैं, तो राइस का प्रोडक्शन बहुत ज़्यादा है। तो एक रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के लिए मतलब एक बायोइथेनॉल का प्लांट यहाँ पे एक बहुत अट्रैक्शन है, जिसको छत्तीसगढ़ गवर्नमेंट प्रमोट भी कर रही है, उसमें इंसेंटिव्स भी हैं। दूसरा एक एनर्जी में देखा जाए तो कोल से हम पावर बनाते हैं, इथेनॉल से थर्मल पावर बनाते हैं, उसके बजाय अब गवर्नमेंट का फोकस है रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी में सोलर पावर के लिए। तो सोलर पावर के लिए भी जो एक मेन अट्रैक्शन हो जाए कि उसमें लैंड सबसे ज़्यादा लगता है, तो चीप लैंड एंड गुड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, तो रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी स्पेशली फॉर सोलर पावर प्लांट के लिए छत्तीसगढ़ एक बहुत ही अच्छी जगह है। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, जैसे मैंने बताया था, नया रायपुर में एक है। स्टील, पावर और माइनिंग, तो यहाँ का बेस इंडस्ट्री है पूरा छत्तीसगढ़ में। यदि स्टील अच्छा है तो सब कुछ अच्छा, इकोनॉमी अच्छी चलती है। रियल एस्टेट भी इन टर्म्स ऑफ रायपुर की यदि मैं बात करूँ तो रायपुर में भी रियल एस्टेट का जो बिजनेस है बहुत ज़्यादा फ्लरिश हो रहा है। और आजकल इसमें चाहे इंडस्ट्री की बात करें या रियल एस्टेट की बात करें, तो अब हर आदमी ग्रीन बिल्डिंग या इंडस्ट्री में रायपुर का नाम बड़ा खराब था पहले, क्योंकि इतने सारे स्पंज आयरन प्लांट थी, तो उसके वेस्ट हीट से जो लगता था पोल्यूटेड सिटी है करके। बट सिंस लास्ट सो मेनी ईयर्स उसमें लगातार काफ़ी इसमें सुधार हुआ है, और लगातार अभी कंटिन्यूस उसमें अब हम मतलब यदि इंडिया की टॉप 10, टॉप 20 पोल्यूटेड सिटीज बोलते हैं तो उन सब से बाहर हैं। और बहुत ही अब स्वच्छ हवा के बीच में हम रहते हैं, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री में जो भी नॉर्म्स हैं उसको बड़ा कड़ाई से यहाँ पे पालन किया जा रहा है। और इंडस्ट्री पर्सन भी ये समझने लगा है कि बिना इसके ना हम जीवित रह सकते हैं, ना आगे वाले हमारी जनरेशन जिंदा रह सकती है। तो उसमें सब ध्यान है और बहुत ही अच्छा उसका रिजल्ट भी बहुत अच्छा है। तो ये छत्तीसगढ़ का जो इंडस्ट्रियल एटमॉस्फेयर है उसके बारे में मैंने बताया कि इट्स ए वेरी गुड एटमॉस्फेयर फॉर इंडस्ट्री इन टर्म्स ऑफ सिंपल लोग हैं, अच्छे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, और सस्टेनेबल यहाँ पे एक माइंडसेट जो है सस्टेनेबल इंडस्ट्री का लोगों में अब बन चुका है। सो थैंक्स फॉर इनवाइटिंग नवीन जी एंड ऑल एसोचैम, सभी जितने पोस्ट होल्डर्स हैं उनको मैं थैंक्स बोलूँगा एंड वेलकम करूँगा कि आप सभी इंडिया से जो भी यहाँ पे हैं इस सेमिनार में, कि आप छत्तीसगढ़ आइए। यहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट बहुत अच्छा है, यहाँ आप स्टडी कीजिए, यहाँ इंडस्ट्री के बारे में सोचिए। इट्स ए वंडरफुल। लास्ट इस कोट के साथ मैं ख़त्म करूँगा कि बिना सस्टेनेबिलिटी एक्चुअली से हम जीवित नहीं रह सकते। द बेस्ट वे टू प्रिडिक्ट द फ्यूचर इज टू क्रिएट इट। जब हमको यदि बेस्ट प्रिडिक्ट करना है तो हमको क्रिएट करना है। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू रमेश जी। विजन विथ एक्शन कैन चेंज द वर्ल्ड।
Yes.
रियली आपने तो पूरा छत्तीसगढ़ का विजन एक साथ यहाँ पे हर सेक्टर पे रख दिया है, और छत्तीसगढ़ के बारे में मुझे लगता है कि इस प्लेटफॉर्म में और कुछ कहने की आवश्यकता नहीं रह गई। आपने बहुत अच्छे ढंग से इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर्स, इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए क्या क्या क्लस्टर्स अलग अलग गवर्नमेंट ने बनाए हैं, क्या क्या एल्यूमिनियम, कोल, टीन, आयरन ओर कैसे अवेलेबिलिटी है, एटमॉस्फेयर छत्तीसगढ़ का क्या है, ये बहुत अच्छे ढंग से आपने इस अच्छे, मेरा सोचना ऐसा है कि इससे अच्छा फोरम नहीं हो सकता कि इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट के पास डायरेक्ट message जाए. So thank you very much for putting all these things in this platform. Thank you, Ramesh ji. Now we have another co-chairman of our UP chapter, Mr. Anurag Bajpayee ji with us, and Anurag ji will summarize as well as take the question answer session. And let me introduce Anurag ji also. Architect Anurag Bajpayee, building energy efficiency expert and co-founder of Green Tree Global. He has completed his degree in architecture from IIT Roorkee. He served as a head of technical department of Green Tree Global. He got an opportunity to work with architect Charles Correa, a major figure in contemporary architecture worldwide. He has worked as energy policy and communications expert with United States Agency for International Development, funded energy conservation and commercializations projects. His work assignment includes working with BEE, NTPC, BHEL, CPWD, AAI, USAID, UNDP, and so many. So, Anurag ji, over to you for the question answer session and summing up the session.
Thank you so much, Naveen ji, and thank you so much, ASSOCHAM GEM platform for giving this opportunity. Am I audible, Naveen ji?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think in my perspective, this is one of the best session that I have attended in last couple of months, because it not only talks about the buildings, but also talks about the cities, because they apparently are the let's say Purak, I would say in Hindi, to each other, because they certainly, when we talk about the buildings, where we spend almost like maybe 60, 70 or 80% of the time, and when we go out and start breathing the fresh air, start consuming some of the let's say the commodities like water and etc., certainly the city's infrastructure play an important role. So in those scenarios, if you look at, then certainly either we look at the top to bottom approach, where we look at the city's infrastructure, which provides the good sustainability living environment to the citizens, or we look at the bottoms up approach, where we look at the green buildings as a role, and that is where we have seen how beautifully Pankaj Dharkar ji, Anupam Mittal ji, they have mentioned that how GEM rating, which has been developed by ASSOCHAM GEM, how it can help the cities and infrastructure in terms of not only helping to the policymaker, but also a lot of stakeholders like Ramesh ji. He has mentioned that a lot of subsidies, government incentives, a lot of, let's say, the good business environment which he gets while doing the business. So in terms of the green building, if you look at, then certainly we look at the lot of options which certainly it can provide to the policymakers. For example, it can give you the benchmark performance against the national and global standards. Now, there are certain questions I think I have received from the audience, and they are very pertinent also. And there are certain other benefits that the green building rating that talks about, and which can be implemented in the cities, like demonstration of commitment of sustainability, which is quoted by Ranjan Kumar sir, that we need to also talk about the citizens or the people who are part of the cities, and how their mindset and the living standard, they also need to be uplifted when we talk about the green building and the cities by and large. We also need to talk about the data driven approach, because this is something that green building as a rating system, it talks about the various data in terms of energy, water, waste, and etc. So we need to actually have the data, and then we can do a lot of decision making approach for the cities. And that is where we have also seen how Raipur presentation, where Mr. Jaga has mentioned that there are a lot of information and the activities which are going on. And last but not the least, I would say it's all the citizen centric, which I think everyone of the presenters or the esteemed panelists, they have quoted that we need to talk about the standard of living, quality of life of people, and that is where it basically links the buildings and the cities together in a very, very binding manner. I would also say that in case if we talk about the buildings and the cities, we really need to have the data which is very much like related to either maybe I think in terms of energy, which may relate to, let's say, tons per year per person. Water, it may be relating to amount per year per person. Waste, maybe it can correlate to amount per year per person for the municipal solid waste. And for the municipal solid waste which gets diverted to the landfill, it may be total amount collected from the let's say people who are living there. There are a lot of benefits from the implementation of the green building, where we can see the optimization of these three basic let's say categories or the indexes which are related to energy, water, and waste. And there are so many which are an important aspects, not only for the buildings, but they are very much important for the cities as well. Now, there are a couple of questions that I would like to highlight. One question is for the cities, and they are related to what Ranjan sir has mentioned. Maybe I think in case if Ranjan sir is not there, then Anupam sir can make the comment on it. He has also, sir, mentioned that let's say there are a lot of initiatives like Green Corridor, vision document for the cities. And also he has mentioned that the responses also, how we can add the cities infrastructure with respect to the sustainability. And he has beautifully quoted some of the points or the remarks with respect to how we can do that part. And that is where we see his points like education, he has mentioned. Second point, sir has mentioned retrofitting of existing buildings and the surrounding infrastructure. And that is where we see, sir, there are a couple of points that are related to, let's say, ease of living index. Now, when we look at the ease of living index as a program from Ministry of Housing and Urban Development or Housing and Urban Affairs Department, then there are 111 cities which are listed. Under the sustainability criteria, if we list from top to bottom, then Pune tops, whereas the cities in the Uttar Pradesh, which are, let's say, Agra, Ghaziabad, and Lucknow, which comes at 31 number. Raipur comes at 6, but Lucknow comes at 31 number. If we look at Lucknow as a city, because this is something which is very much like a heritage building in the neighborhood, and the city is full of lot of cultural advantages. And in those scenarios, how we can make the living index up for the city like Lucknow with respect to the green building implementation? That is my first question to Ranjan Kumar sir, IAS Divisional Commissioner, Lucknow. So, Ranjan sir, if Ranjan sir is not there, I think he might have gone out of his busy schedule. Maybe I'll request Anupam sir to just comment on this question.
Anurag, can you just repeat once? I think I just, because of the network, I just missed some line.
Oh, sure, sir. I was basically mentioning that certainly there is a roadmap which Ranjan sir has mentioned, Green Corridor vision document of cities, and a lot of responses and replies. Also, he has mentioned that education is one, retrofitting infrastructure of the existing building second, and other list that he listed down. But in terms of the ease of living index, which has been published by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Lucknow comes at 31 number out of the total 111 cities. And that is something which surprises us also, because a lot of people who are willing to settle in Lucknow, And then when we have the living standard coming at 31, certainly we need to work on this. So what are the options, or what are the ways through which we can uplift that index? That is my questions.
I think this is a very surprising, because we call लखनऊ मुस्कुराइए कि आप लखनऊ में हैं, और पहले आपकी तहजीब और लखनऊ is like known for so many things together, and definitely it's a very beautiful city. मुझे ऐसा लगता है, अगर आपके सवाल को सही अंडरस्टैंड कर पा रहा हूँ, कि लखनऊ शहर एक्चुअली स्टेट कैपिटल तो था, लेकिन लखनऊ कभी भी बिजनेस कैपिटल नहीं बन पाया. लखनऊ एक्चुअली यूपी में कानपुर बन गया था, कानपुर became the business center and the industry center, and Lucknow was more of an education city and more of a city which was a government body city. इसमें जिससे कि पूरा एक स्टेट यहाँ से रन कर. In the last 15-20 years, which we have seen very prominently, that cities, state center has started shifting from Kanpur to Lucknow, because the industries in Kanpur getting closed slowly, especially the textile industry, and Lucknow started becoming a city, a preferred city for the people around. And at the same time, even the expressways and everything, even the all train, even the GT road and the main train line from Delhi to Howrah, which is called this main central line, was again from Kanpur. Was never from Lucknow. So Lucknow started connecting once Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee became the Member of Parliament and became the Prime Minister of India. Later, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Only then this shifting started coming and Lucknow started becoming bigger. I think this 31 must be the new one. It may be in previously, maybe in 50s or something. And soon, by efforts of you and SOCHM and the entire team, it will become in top 10, I'm pretty sure.
Thank you so much, sir. It's certainly, I think, the takeaway for the team as well, that SOCHM should also take up the cities as rating system also, so that Lucknow, and there are a lot of cities which are getting, let's say, upliftment with respect to sustainability, and a lot of infrastructure which is get developed in the surroundings. They should also get to develop the sustainable infrastructure, and that is where the living standard of the people or the citizen, they'll also be related to. So I think there's a second question from the audience that came to us, which is related to the presentation on behalf of IAS Sir Prabhat Malik ji. Mr. Jaga has mentioned that there is a specific activities which are going on with respect to the, let's say, emphasizing water supply 24/7. And that is where the second question is, that you may claim 24/7, but how you are going to monitor and metering it with respect to not only supply but the quality of water? Are there any provision in the smart city which are going to be there?
Mr. Jaga has also left due to his some previous program. And Anuragji, I think I can throw some lights on this, because whatever you are asking is just related to it should be answered from a government. From the answer should come from the government. But as I know, they have just started supplying water 24/7, and also working on water quality. The water quality is really good. And as far as the audit system, certain segments are prepared here. In 1 or 2 segments, they have just fixed the meter for the audit, water audit, and rest of the city is still have to still going for the audit systems. So this is the present scenario. So definitely the quality of the water is good.
Thank you so much, Naveen sir. I think that makes the point very clear. and I think this is also the need of the hour, that supply, you can always claim. We have also seen how the power claims are there, and we also have seen how we get to know that there is surplus power, but still we get to have a lot of the power cuts as well, and there is a quality of power is always a question to which we get surprises almost all the times. So we have also got the third question. I'll be quick in this case, and the third question is for Ramesh Agrawal ji. We really appreciate, there's this appreciation also from the audience, said that we appreciate that you are doing wonderful. State is doing a lot of initiatives, because sometimes when the stakeholder like you appreciate the policies from the state, it shows that the demand and supply, they are pretty much like in the balancing act. Otherwise, in most of the cases, we always get to hear a lot of maybe issues and the challenges, but it's other way around, and that is where I think I appreciate the state policies and certainly you in terms of your activities. Sir, one thing that you have mentioned, that mindset of the manufacturer, a lot of subsidies the government is providing, a lot of incentives that the manufacturers harnesses. But in terms of, if you look at the data, Chhattisgarh has not been very proactive in terms of doing a lot of green building certified projects so far, and neither in terms of residential, commercial, nor in terms of industries. We may understand that even if you do not have the certification, you may always the projects rightfully with all the sustainability metrics intact. But just wanted to understand, what is the general mindset in terms of industries, in terms of adopting these green building rating systems like ASSOCHAM GEM, which basically include all the aspects which Dharkar sir has mentioned beautifully, along with the fire safety norms. Your comments and remarks, Ramesh sir.
As far as concern of green building concept, तो इसमें कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज के बारे में तो बहुत ज़्यादा मैं इसमें फोकस नहीं कर पाऊंगा, बट इंडस्ट्री पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, बीइंग ए इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, इंडस्ट्री पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जी मैं जो बताऊंगा कि आज से 10 साल 15 साल पहले जो इंडस्ट्री की पोजीशन होती थी, दैट एंटायरली डिफरेंट. उसमें एक पूरा, चूँकि स्पंज आयरन प्लांट्स काफ़ी हैं और यहाँ कोल यूज़ होता है, स्पंज आयरन प्लांट में, फर्नेसेस में, स्टील में कोल यूज़ होता है. जहाँ पे कोल यूज़ होगा डेफिनेटली वहाँ पे पोल्यूशन या कार्बन एमिशंस जो हैं वो डेफिनेटली रहेंगे. अब उसको कितना कम कर सकते हैं, कैसे कम कर सकते हैं, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ मेथड्स. तो पहले ये सब बहुत होता था, ब्लैक काला धुआं पूरा होता था इंडस्ट्रियल बेल्ट पे. धीरे धीरे गवर्नमेंट के भी नॉर्म्स आए, लोगों का भी, इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट का भी माइंडसेट चेंज हुआ, और उसमें इक्विपमेंट्स भी वैसे मॉडर्न इक्विपमेंट्स भी आने लगे कि स्पंज आयरन प्लांट्स में ESP लगाना जरूरी हो गया. ESP लगाने से उसमें अपने आप में उसकी एक कॉस्ट है, कैपिटल कॉस्ट भी है, रनिंग कॉस्ट भी है, बट वो लगाने से अपने आप में एक ये है, वेस्ट हीट रिकवरी पावर प्लांट लगा ली, जो वेस्ट हीट से धुआं निकल रहा है स्पंज आयरन को, उसको यूज करके पावर बना रहे हैं, तो वो अपने आप में एक सस्टेनेबल बने हुए हैं. जो रोलिंग मिल जो हम बनाते हैं, जिसमें TMT बनाते हैं हम, या वो है, हमको गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से अप्रिसिएशन भी मिला है उसके लिए कि उसमें हमने हॉट चार्जिंग, मतलब जो फर्नेस से डायरेक्ट बिलेट जो है वो सीधे वहाँ चला जाता है. अदरवाइज पहले ठंडा होता था, फिर गर्म करते थे, तो उसमें कोल का अलग से वो होता था. अब वो सीधे जो बिलेट बनता है उसी डायरेक्ट रोल हो जाता है. तो अपने आप में इसमें एनर्जी सेविंग भी है, कॉस्ट सेविंग भी है. तो उसके लिए हमको गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्टील से हमको 2 बार अच्छा अप्रिसिएशन भी मिला है, उसमें मेडल भी मिला हुआ है हमारी इंडस्ट्री को भी. और ये धीरे धीरे ये कॉन्सेप्ट जो है अब सब जगह आ गया है. तो इंडस्ट्री में एक यहाँ पर पॉल्यूशन डिपार्टमेंट भी जो है बहुत ऑनलाइन होने कि वो अपने ऑफिस में उनके नॉर्म्स फिक्स हैं कि ये किस प्लांट में रोलिंग मिल है तो वो 50 न्यूमेरिक पर इसमें, और स्पंज आयरन में 30. इसमें इससे यदि एक भी मिनट के लिए एक भी ऊपर जाता है तो वो रिकॉर्ड में उनके आता है, और वहां से एक्शन तुरंत वो लेटर इशू हो जाता है कि आपके 3rd लेटर में इंडस्ट्री क्लोजर का. तो एवरीबडी इज सो कंसर्न अबाउट दिस कि उसका ड्रास्टिक चेंज देखने को मिला है. तो ये अपने आप में एक ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी या ग्रीन सर्टिफिकेशन, ये जरूर आप ठीक बोल रहे हैं कि जो ग्रीन सर्टिफिकेशन या एसोचैम का जो एक कोर टॉपिक है जो सर्टिफिकेशन का, उसके उस डायरेक्शन में गवर्नमेंट का बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं है उसमें। मेरे हिसाब से अभी भी रियल स्टेट में, कंस्ट्रक्शन में अभी भी हम देखते हैं बिल्डिंग ऐसी खुली बनती रहती हैं। दिस इज एंटायरली रॉन्ग। इन सब के लिए स्ट्रिक्ट नॉर्म्स और आने चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट को भी इसमें आगे आना चाहिए और एसोसिएशन को भी आगे आना चाहिए, ताकि वो इसमें और ज्यादा अच्छे से काम हो सके।
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, Naveen sir, I think I put my statement rest. और हमारी तरफ से 3 क्वेश्चन जो ऑडियंस के तरफ से आए थे, I have asked, and thank you so much for the opportunity again.
Thank you, Anurag ji. Thank you for the question answer sessions. You put up the questions in a very right way, and hope the audience has got their answers. And now I would like to invite Shubha ji for the for some presentations from the partners. Shubha ji, over to you.
Thank you, Naveen ji. That's great one. And actually, I got a call from Ranjanji's office. He's trying to log in. There are some disconnections, so maybe he'll get back in few minutes. Meanwhile, I would like to give my sincere thanks to the support of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Council of Architecture, MIT India, and NAREDCO. And we are also thankful to our sustainability partners, without whom this event would not have been possible. So it includes, but not limited to, Prince Pipes and Fittings, Lubrizol, Panasonic, Mehta Tubes, LP, Indian Engineering, Daikin India, and JSW. So we'd like to play a video for Prince Pipings and Fittings. It's a small video. So Harishji, can you please play the video, please? Thank you, Harshji. Back to you, Naveen ji. So we had, yeah, you can.
Thank you, Shobhaji, for this presentations from our industry partner. And we have with us Nishanji. He is a member from Chhattisgarh chapter, deals in firefighting system. Nishanji, you have heard all the speakers. It's my request to you, say a few lines for them. Nishan Bafnaji.
Thank you, Naveen sir. Yes, we have with us the speakers who had given the prestigious time to us. So first, I'll say about Mr. Shubhrata Rath, the Joint Director and SOGEM GEM Green Building Certification Program and the coordinator of today's program. I have a few lines for you for this. आए हो निभाने को जब किरदार जमी पर, आए हो निभाने को जब किरदार जमी पर, कुछ ऐसा कर चलो कि जमाना मिसाल दे आपकी. Then we have Chairman of SOCHM GEM, Mr. Pankaj Dharkar sir. न थके कभी पैर न कभी हिम्मत हारी है, न थके कभी पैर न कभी हिम्मत हारी है, हौसला है जिंदगी में कुछ कर दिखाने का, इसलिए अभी भी सफर जारी है. Then we have Chairman of SOCHM GEM उत्तर प्रदेश, आर्किटेक्ट अनुपम मित्तल सर. आपके लिए कुछ लाइनें हैं. जीत के खातिर बस जुनून चाहिए, जिसमें उबाल हो ऐसा खून चाहिए, या आसमां भी आएगा जमीन पर, बस इरादों में ऐसा जुनून चाहिए. Then we have the chairman of SOCHM GEM Chhattisgarh chapter, architect Naveen Sharma sir. This line for you. आपका जिक्र भी हो, आप लिखते हो तो किताबों में दर्ज हो, आप करते हो तो इतिहास में दर्ज हो, भविष्य में जब कभी SOCHM GEM की बात हो तो हम चाहते हैं कि उसमें आपका भी जिक्र हो. Then we have the divisional commissioner of Lucknow, Ranjan Kumar sir. काम ऐसे करो कि पहचान बन जाए, चलो ऐसे कि निशान बन जाए, अरे जिंदगी तो हर कोई काट लेता है, अगर दम है तो जियो ऐसे कि मिसाल बन जाए. Then we have lines for our commissioner and MD Raipur Smart City, Prabhat Malik sir. साहिल पर पहुंचने से इनकार किसे है, लेकिन तूफानों से लड़ने का मजा ही कुछ और है. कहते हैं किस्मत खुदा लिखता है, लेकिन उसे मिटाकर खुद लिखने का मजा कुछ और है. और इसके बाद है हमारे नेक्स्ट स्पीकर जो थे रमेश अग्रवाल सर, को फाउंडर ऑफ रियल ग्रुप एंड स्पा. रास्ता रुख मोड़ लेते हैं, मंजिल भी दूर जाती है, देखता हूं मैं क्या लिखा है आगे, हौसले मेरे भी तूफानी हैं. इसके बाद आती है अनुराग जी, जिन्होंने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन हैंडल किया. द को चेयरमैन ऑफ SOCHM GEM यूपी चैप्टर. संघर्ष के मार्ग पर जो वीर चलता है वही संसार को बदलता है, जिसने अंधकार मुसीबत और खुद से जंग जीती, सूर्य बनकर वही निकलता है. और लास्ट नॉट द लीस्ट मिस्टर आर्किटेक्ट राज प्रतिपति सर, को चेयरमैन ऑफ SOCHM GEM छत्तीसगढ़ चैप्टर. बेहतर से बेहतर की तलाश करो, मिल जाए नदी तो समंदर की तलाश करो, टूट जाता है शीशा पत्थर की चोट से, टूट जाए पत्थर ऐसा शीशा तलाश करो. So many thanks to all the speakers and the dignitaries of today's session. Over to Naveen sir.
Thank you, Nishan. Thank you for such wonderful lines for all the speakers. This is something new from our presentations and the sessions. And now I would like to invite Architect Raj Prajapati ji for the vote of thanks. He is the principal architect of Space and co-chairman of Chhattisgarh chapter SOCHM GEM. Architect Raj Prajapati.
Thank you, Naveen ji. Good afternoon, all. In this GEM 4th International Sustainability Conclave Expo and Award 2021 under System and Smart City. Being co-chairman SOCHM GEM Chhattisgarh chapter, my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks for this beautiful Day 3 session, GEM 4th International Sustainability Conclave Expo and Awards 2021 and Green Rating System and Smart. On behalf of Chhattisgarh chapter and the entire SOCHM GEM today's event team, crew, eminent special guests, let me call it SOCHM GEM Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh here together, and on my own behalf extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our Honorable Mr. Ranjan Kumar, IAS, Divisional Commissioner, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, for initiating sustainability well in Uttar Pradesh, trying hard to achieve the goal. Commendable efforts. Mr. Prabhat Malik, IAS Commissioner and General Manager, City of Chhattisgarh. We are unfortunate that due to CS visit in smart cities, he didn't get time to be with us today, but we plus Honorable Murdhwaj Jaga, Senior General Manager, Tata Consultancy Engineering Limited. We extend our sincere gratitude for presentation of smart city, preserve resources, sustainability as a whole. Mr. Ramesh Agarwal, co-founder, Real Ispat and Power Limited, holding many eminent posts throughout the country. Great work. Action can change the world. आपने छत्तीसगढ़ स्टेट के रिसोर्सेज, इंडस्ट्रीज, फॉरेस्ट और सस्टेनेबिलिटी की पर क्रियान्वयन के बेहतर प्रयास पर प्रकाश डाला. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to our guests, Ranjan ji and Rajesh ji. You spared your time from your busiest schedule gracing the occasion. Today we had the opportunity to hear your thoughts. This is definitely in our future events. There are constructions and many upcoming construction projects in Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh calling to be queued in GEM study to get them certified. You all can take this initiation and get it. We are honored, all of you, to have with us today. Raj Bajpayee, Uttar Pradesh chapter, Director Green Tree Global. He keenly extracted the topics and well brought in front to answer our eminent speakers. Thank you, Anurag. Mr. Pankaj Dharkar, National Chairman, Association, Green Building Council and President, Pankaj Dharkar and Associates. Thank you, Pankaj Dharkar ji, for your kind and inspirating, elaborating the goal of SHM, Green Building Certification. Our most energetic and the only young personality I always used to say with us, and appreciating the works. With your leadership, we have reached almost 20 states and soon be approaching the other remaining states. Anupam Mitman, Associate Dem, Uttar Pradesh chapter, and Principal Architect, Arinam Consultancy Services Private Limited. Today, with your warm welcome, boosted all of our to have. Thank you, Anupamji. Architect Naveen Sharma, Chairman, Associate Dem, Chhattisgarh chapter, and Principal Architect Naveen Sharma and Associates. And today's moderator presented and filtered all the topics and managing the session in a very nice manner. Thanking you for initiation, support, and guidance as leader to make this event move. Mr. Nishant Bafna, member SHM Chhattisgarh chapter, deals in firefighting. क्या बात है निशान जी, बेहतरीन पंक्तियां सभी के लिए खुशनुमा करने के लिए आपको तहे दिल से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Well, friends, we have been fortunate enough to be backed up by a very motivated colleagues of SHM who know their job and are result oriented. An event cannot be successful without people who devote their time. Just makes perfect. Mr. Harish Pushpagar, host of this event, Mr. Subrat Orath, Joint Director, SHM Green Building Certification Program. Thank you so much, sir. At the same time, people who attend for the event are still very much a big part of its success. Last but not least, I want to state that we are more grateful to all and indirectly associated for the success of today's event. We, the SHM GEM Fraternity, Uttar Pradesh chapter and Chhattisgarh chapter. Thank you all the participants with us this evening, and it's been a great pleasure. Here I conclude. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Raji. Thanks to you also. Over to you, Shubhaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Naveen ji. So we would like to give a special thanks to all of you, and हमको हमारे तरफ से आप सबको हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं और धन्यवाद। और इसके साथ मेरा एक स्पेशल थैंक्स जाता है मेरे टीम का, द एसोसिएशन जेम टीम, हरीश, रोहित, अमित जी, दीपक छाबरा, दीपक जोशी जी, and last but not the least, Neeraj ji. So here we would like to conclude our session. So the next sessions will be coming in few hours. It's at 2:30 p.m. today. So it's about Punjab chapter, and the name of the theme is about solar and passive design architecture. You can see passive design and solar architecture. It will be starting at 2:30 and will be ending at 4 p.m. So please stay tuned with us to learn more. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone.
Bye-bye.